All right, so here's why Marco's playing the sad music on the way in, as Shams Charania of ESPN had this report today, and it's titled Shams Charania's Inside Pass, Trade Buzz on Jimmy Butler, Brandon Ingram, and the rest of the NBA. And so he gives this whole spiel. He says on December 15th, the majority of free agents who signed in the offseason are eligible to be traded. And then most GMs and team officials will descend upon the G League Winter Showcase in Orlando, Florida, December 19th through the 22nd. Although most teams have already completed the 20-game check-ins with their counterparts across the leagues, and conversations typically heat up in January, closer to the February 6th trade deadline. Every deadline period, there are players who emerge as key figures to watch, those who could shift the balance of power in the NBA. This season, all eyes will be on Miami Heat 6-time All-Star Jimmy Butler and Pelicans 1-time All-Star Brandon Ingram. Butler is one of the NBA's elite competitors and a perennial postseason performer. His teams have made the playoffs in 12 of 13 seasons, including 5 previous seasons with Miami, where he has led Miami to 2 NBA Finals berths and an additional Eastern Conference Finals appearance. Both Butler and Ingram are essentially on contract seasons. Butler has a $49 million on a contract for this season with a $52 million player option for 25-26. The sides did not reach an extension this summer. All right, so here's the juicy part.
What? That wasn't? There's more?
That was the preemptive juice.
Oh, okay. Juice me up, baby.
The Heat, according to Shams, the Heat are open to listening to offers for Butler and making a deal if the proposal is right, league sources told ESPN. And Butler's agent, Bernie Lee, has indicated in league circles that Butler is open to destinations such as the 2 Texas teams, Houston Rockets and Dallas Mavericks, and the Golden State Warriors.
Damn you, Jimmy.
You know what that means. Here comes Draymond.
What? I don't think that's what's going to happen.
I'll trade. No way.
I don't think it's going to be Draymond Green.
Who can we possibly get from them, though? There's really no one of value. We would be giving like picks, maybe. But
you would probably get picks, get a bevy of picks. Wiggins would probably be the salary.
I mean,
Kuminga would be the young piece. Maybe Pajemski if you really wanted to get somebody like, add a little bit more shooting into the holster.
That sounds like a horrible trade to me. I don't know. Maybe
it's not great. You're losing, your best player at the end of his contract. But the Heat do have a decision to make with him, right? Because it's like, are you going to give Jimmy Butler an extension after this season? Is he going to get big offers? Like, this is the interesting thing, right? We have this all going on right now. The Heat are playing really good basketball, okay? Mm-hmm. And with Jimmy, I think Jimmy's had a good season. I think Jimmy's been good, but he has still missed games. Like, it's still everybody who thought, like, oh, Riley's going to talk him into being available. No, he's still been banged up because Jimmy Butler gets banged up. That's what he does. And he plays when the playoffs happen. That's typically how the Jimmy Butler arc goes.
You can't say it anymore.
Well, last year, okay, I'm going to give it an outlier because he's typically ready for the playoffs. But it's a fair criticism.
Okay.
It's a fair criticism.
Okay.
What about what he said in the preseason?
Well, who cares?
I guess, yeah, you're right. In the middle of it, he could just change his mind. But I felt like he said he was pretty locked into staying here. He wasn't trying to
It does say. From this, it says the Heat have hovered around the play-in tournament over the last 2 seasons with Butler's contractual status. They have been open-minded to trade inquiries. I don't think I said that right. Butler has been professional throughout the season by all accounts and has an affinity for Miami, where he even opened up the first Big Face coffee shop in the city's design district. So it says he likes it down here. And actually, it's funny. I just saw a tweet from Giancarlo Navas from Miami Heat Beat, who is actually at Big Face. I assume this is from right now because he tweeted, Jimmy Butler is literally at Big Face Coffee right now as he tweeted on this whole thing, making coffee for people.
Whoa.
Man, I think and by the way, I don't know if he's going to be there much longer because they have practice. So don't go storming there, everybody.
Okay.
Just letting you know. They do have practice pretty soon. So just letting you guys know. People are like, where's Jimmy?
You said Jimmy was here.
He's got practice coming up. I just want you guys to know that. He's got a place to be. But
this is his side job.
It is his side job. but it actually could be a job that makes them a lot of. I mean, listen, when athletes get next to a successful beverage,
oh yeah,
it goes for a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know,
I might pass by today.
There's no.
Why not? Game Boy says, why not trade Bam instead? Because Bam is younger.
Too young.
Yeah.
And that would demoralize everyone. You trade Bam, it's like I thought he was the torchbearer. You can't trade this guy. You trade Jimmy and
they're not trading Bam Adebayo unless you're getting like Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
And they ain't getting that.
And you're not getting that.
And even then, I'm sure they would think about it because I mean,
they just gave him an extension. And first of all, he's played much better this week at home. After the Boston game, he's played a lot better offensively.
Yes,
he had a 25-point near triple double. And I don't know how much you guys are paying attention. I know people always want to go with. They legitimately cannot take him off the floor and keep a lead.
Jimmy.
No, Bam.
Bam. Right. It's crazy because it has nothing to do with his scoring.
Oh no.
If
only we had like a 7-foot defensive stopper. That
another story for another day. Another story for another day.
All right.
But yeah, this is like, look, this is something that's still looming over it. The one thing I would say though, I'm seeing a lot of, the Heat deserve to trade him off. The Heat need to trade him off to a real contender.
To do right by him.
And the Rockets have been good this season. Not surprised. I mean, like, Ime Udoka's a good coach. He's got a lot of young guys. They play hard. He's from that area. They got, some nice young pieces. I'm sure the Heat fans not, like, thrilled to get any of them. But also, I'm sure if you could get – the thing that would be interesting with the Jimmy thing, if they really do feel like the end is coming, they have a decision to make. Do they ride till the wheels come off? Or do you restock your assets? Then you can go make your pivot move in the offseason. Either that be a De'Aaron Fox, whether that be a Giannis, if that becomes a thing, whether that is whoever. Dame again? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, the Heat are a little bereft of assets because they traded a first-round pick for Terry Rozier. And that wasn't a smart trade. So they got to decide.
Keep in mind, I will say this about the Terry Rozier trade. Tyler wasn't playing like this.
Oh, it's hurt.
Right? Tyler wasn't playing like this then.
Mm-hmm.
And so that...
It was a desperation move.
It was a
desperation move.
Right.
They had the Kyle Lowry situation. They had a hurt Tyler Hero. They were hopeful that Jimmy Butler was going to muster the powers of the universe and become playoff Jimmy again. It flopped in their face.
I like Terry's minutes, though. I don't like him for a first-round pick, but I like Terry's minutes. Like, I feel in regards to what you consider a backup point guard.
Yeah, but he ain't getting paid.
I just
didn't paid like a backup point guard.
He gets paid like $27 million, I think.
That's the starting point guard.
It's a pretty sizable salary. The thing with him the thing that I just never got with it is like, why do you gotta give a first round? Like, usually you give up a first round pick to take on like an albatross contract. And they had Kyle Lowry, who was going to be an expiring deal. I didn't really understand why they had to attach an asset to it. And it just felt like the Heat kind of overbid for that one. But whatever, damage is done on that one. So the Heat got to be at this weird point right now, right? Because if you trade Jimmy Butler, you're kind of waving the flag on the season. And that's not their style.
You think?
Yeah.
See, I don't think that.
Why?
Because it depends on what are you getting back. And
if the best player you get back is Jonathan Kuminga.
I'm still trying to figure out what the hell he does.
So are they.
When I watch the games,
and he's owed a bit. He's going to want a big contract.
When I watch the games, it's not like he's a bum out there. He is making plays, but I'm still trying to figure out what his.
I'm trying to think like what would
description is.
And the Maverick, man, I would not want to do a trade with the Mavericks. Even though Mark Cuban's kind of on the outs with them.
Hey,
still though.
Move on.
What?
Move on.
I don't want to trade Jimmy Butler.
What do we get from them?
Can I just say I don't want to trade him?
That's fair.
I don't want to trade Jimmy Butler.
That's fair.
Can I just say that?
Is there something that you could get that would perk you up a little bit?
Not really from these teams.
Okay.
Not really from these teams. Like I'm not into the young. First of all, young guys like, that's gonna go great with Eric Spoelstra. He loves playing those.
So that means Bam is gonna play 48 minutes.
Like, like imagine like the Heat have traded Jimmy Butler for Derek Lively, and it's like
Derek Lively
from the Mavericks,
no.
and it's like suppose like He's like, Coach, I was on a finals team last year. Yeah, great sight. You guess what? You're going to be in the G League finals. It's like, Coach, I already played a year.
Are you familiar with Sioux Falls?
He goes, Derek, how tall are you? 7'1", sir.
Oh, too tall.
How and what's
Woo.
your age?
20.
23.
It's actually 20 years old.
Derek Lively
20.
20?
20.
Oh, you can't drink yet? You can't. No.
Oh,
No. Hey,
Here's the deal, though.
Coach Dan, I got one for you.
Here's the deal, though. Like,
And by the way, I don't even think the Mavericks would trade him.
I'm trying to figure out.
So what do we get?
What is the plan?
Klay Thompson.
I'm trying to figure out the plan as to why they would do this and what, because I thought they did an excellent job of getting younger and taller.
Bless you, dude. You all right?
Bless you.
Wow.
I thought they did an excellent job of getting younger and lengthier this past offseason. Now, none of those guys play.
Mm-mm.
So, like, I don't understand. In order to do a Jimmy trade, you would probably have to bring somebody you feel comfortable with that's a veteran.
Do we do
which
anything?
Put you in the same spot.
Do we do anything with the fact that Spo has finally found a starting lineup that is one of the best lineups in the league? Like Duncan, Bam, Tyler, Jimmy, and Haywood. They're playing lights out.
Yeah.
Like it took him a Rubik's Cube a little bit, but he's found a starting lineup that works. Like, don't you this is a I'm just no Heat fan wants to hear the argument. Like this is why I was like, when they beat the Cavs, I was like, I think they may be back. And everybody's right now telling me, well, they're not a true contender, which is like, all right, could they beat Boston? I don't know. Boston drubbed them, but Jimmy, they didn't have Jimmy, and Jimmy's Boston's daddy, and Tyler Hero's playing. Tyler Hero's playing incredible.
Can I ask you a question?
Duncan Robinson's playing incredible.
How long can you keep saying that? Jimmy's 35.
Yeah.
Right? Are you going to say it until he's 40? Until he's 37? Okay, so that's not reality. Like, and this is how maybe the Heat and other people are looking at this.
Mm-hmm.
He has had success against Boston, but you can't just keep assuming that's going to happen from year to year.
But we
have these conversations in every sport every year. Last year's price is not this year's price.
But we don't know that he can't have success.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
I didn't say that you did say that. I didn't say that you did say that.
He didn't say that, dude.
Like,
I didn't say that he didn't say that.
Words in his mouth. And I'm not a fan of
you
that.
make that.
Right?
That's your defense of what you want to say.
No,
No, we're on the same page,
Hey,
dude.
no, we're not.
No,
No, we're not.
We're
We
not.
are
No,
not.
we are on the same
We're not
page.
in the same
We're on a
book.
different book.
Hear me out.
I'm in the book of what is this going to be in the future, and you're in the book of Jimmy has done it. He'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
Not keep doing it.
Then what?
Mm.
That's my point.
Let's ride, baby.
Different book.
How you're making
You're
making an assumption
okay, but
that first of all, 35-year-old Jimmy
Mhm.
can deal with a team that has just run through the league for the last 2 years.
that's true.
Like,
However,
without it, it's
but
They didn't run through Jimmy, though.
but
he's never gotten to do it with Tyler Hero healthy.
Oh.
He's never gotten to do it with this Tyler Hero before.
so you're talking about the other guys. You're not talking about Jimmy.
But he's never had that wingman. I don't have worries about Jimmy. I know Jimmy can summon it up.
All right.
I know he can.
Okay.
That's what he does. Unless he's just washed.
I'm not making an assumption that we're better without Jimmy. I'm not. All I'm saying is that I can see both sides of it.
I remember when they tried.
Your side is a little bit skewed because you love Jimmy, right?
Deserved.
But from the team perspective, when they seem to try to be making moves to get younger and have more length, even though they don't use any of it,
The prudent thing is probably to trade him if you could get a bevy of picks and stuff for him.
right? But I don't know if.
But I hate the prudent thing. I want one last ride. I want to fire the bullets.
Wait.
I want to fire the bullets.
Here's
everything they got.
Here's the thing.
I do like
Everybody listen to me.
That sounds fun.
Has Tobin been saying one more last ride for the last 3 years?
That's not fair.
You have been.
Two of those hold on. Went to the finals one of those years. And then went to the Eastern Conference Finals the year before that. There's only
that
1
was
year.
4 years ago.
No, it wasn't. No, you're missing up shifts. Okay.
No, I'm not.
A year ago, got bounced in the first round. Jimmy Butler got hurt. The year before that, they were in the finals, my friend. And the year before that, they were shot away.
Okay. Again.
And my only argument the entire time.
And I would tell you this, that a couple years ago, Cincinnati was in the Super Bowl.
Well, if they got a defense,
no, but that's
can still put up numbers.
But that's my point. This team, the last 3 years, 4 years, has been talking about one thing: health with the same guys.
Right.
Okay. If you keep doing it and it keeps happening, is it your fault or is it their fault?
Tyler Hero and Bam have been healthy.
Again,
okay.
This is not.
And
it is December.
Well,
it's December.
I understand.
Okay. We've said every year, me and you have this conversation every year about this time, about, this year, everybody's going to be healthy. And then, boom, leg tweak out for 2 months.
Well, I can't help that happens in basketball a lot.
But to the same guys every year.
Typically, Jimmy's ready for the playoffs.
Except last year.
Correct.
Okay.
Fluke play, though. Fluke play.
My question to you is if your organization, not Tobin.
Yeah.
Why do you think that every year is going to be different?
Do you see how Tyler Hero's playing this year? Like
Tyler Hero's young.
We've been waiting for this.
Wait, you've been first of all, I will say this, and I've said this to you. You maybe have been expecting it too long, too young, because most guys get into their prime 26, 27 years old.
But here it is.
Okay, but now there's the Jimmy thing.
But that's the thing. Don't you remember when they're on the stage and they're going, "Who's
Jimmy
won?"
Going to be Jimmy of 2 years ago.
But dude, that's what he's been waiting
for.
Time. But now he can tone back the scoring. Tyler Hero takes it. Now he can be sneaky veteran, making steals. He can be. No.
You know what sneaky veteran is? What? Wise veteran. That's old veteran. I can't do it as much as I used to be able to.
At one point, Alonzo Mourning was the guy. Okay, but he didn't win his ring till he was the role guy. Okay.
Yeah. So you're saying Jimmy should be the role guy?
I think he's more than a role guy because those are the greatest minutes I've ever seen Alonzo Mourning play. But I think you get what I'm saying. Like the burden can now be taken up a little bit more. I think.
A lot of thinking.
I'm not ready to trade him. I don't want to trade
those guys. Those guys on Key Biscayne.
Okay, can I put it like this?
Yeah, go ahead.
J-Fig, how furious are you going to be if he wins a championship with the Warriors?
I wouldn't even be in this room sitting down.
Wow. These Warriors are always. This is why I dreamed about Bob Myers.
Be outside
even though he's not there anymore.
No, he got fired. Oh no, you retired.
Were you there for that day?
I don't think so. I would remember you dream.
You know what? I gotta take a break. We'll take a break.
That's fair.
I need to reset.
Tell us more about your dream.